Welcome back to the Takeout. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, monarch used to call him Prince Andrew, is facing more potential problems after the latest release of Epstein-related files. These are newly released photos showing him crouched over a woman. Vice President J.D. Vance told the Daily Mail in an interview that he's open to having Andrew testify before Congress. Of course, J.D. Vance can only say that. He doesn't have any real power over that, but it's interesting nevertheless. Jordan Merson joins me now. His law firm represents more than 40 Epstein survivors. Jordan, I'm glad to have you with us. First question, quite separate from former Prince Andrew. Any of your clients have any of their sensitive information disclosed in this most recent release of files? And if so, have any of them suffered negative consequences as a result?
Well, first, thanks for having me. I would say that so far, most of my clients are in the clear. Some of them have had some of their sensitive information released.
What is your reaction thus far to the way the Justice Department has released what it has in its possession so far and what you are still, and on behalf of the survivors, looking to see?
Well, I think, look, the disclosure of documents is an important step, but the government here has really put documents over the victims in a number of respects. I represent more than 40 women who are sexual abuse survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. No one disputes that. The FBI was on notice of what was happening with Jeffrey Epstein way back in 1996. A lot of this was very preventable. Rather than accepting accountability and responsibility, the FBI has used procedural technicalities to try to get out of this case. So I know President Trump today said he wants everybody to move on. Well, there are all these survivors out there who are still trying to get justice. So we can't move on while there's all of these claims outstanding.
And when you say claims outstanding, do you mean people who could be prosecuted for things that they did that evidence, had it been pursued in these files, would have led to?
Well, what I mean is that there are claims against, we have filed a lawsuit in the Southern District of Florida against the FBI as a result of the FBI's negligence in not investigating information when they had it that could have stopped my clients from being sexually abused.
Got it. Do you care whether or not former Prince Andrew testifies? Do you think he could tell us anything that would be relevant either to your clients or to the survivors broadly?
I mean, I think that the more information that comes out, the better it is. But in order for there to be true transparency, true accountability, and true responsibility, I think the victims have to be taken care of. And I think the victims have really gotten lost here insofar as there are all these claims that are outstanding. And my firm isn't the only one that represents survivors. There are a number of other firms who are also representing survivors and having similar experiences. And then when you have these document releases and the victims' names are not redacted, what's really being done here for the victims?
What about testimony that is due later this month from former President Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton? Do you think they can shed any new light on this that would be responsive to the needs and wants of your clients?
I mean, there's the potential is there, sure, but until the government accepts accountability and responsibility. I mean, look, they did in the Larry Nassar cases. What's the difference between those cases and these cases?
Explain to my audience what you mean by that. They may not be versed in all these back and forth.
Sure. So Larry Nassar, there was information that was provided to the FBI where if the FBI would have properly investigated, a number of the Larry Nassar victims would not have been sexually abused. I believe the date was 2014 there. The FBI did not conduct an investigation. The US government acknowledged that there was a wrongdoing there and agreed to resolve the case and accept accountability and responsibility. Here, it's the same case, yet they're trying to get all these cases dismissed on procedural grounds, which is just wrong. If President Trump wants everyone to move on, I think the survivors are a big part of that. And right now, not only are they being ignored in part in these lawsuits, but also the U.S. government's trying to throw them out of court.
Jordan, last question. There's a civil channel here. There's a criminal channel here. For your clients, is justice attained through civil accountability or criminal accountability?
I think, unfortunately, criminal accountability is largely elusive because Mr. Epstein killed himself. So I think many times what my firm tries to do is when you can't get criminal accountability, civil accountability is all that you can get. And unfortunately, here, the US government is getting in the way of that in every possible way.
Jordan Merson, I appreciate the time, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for covering it.